When I first jumped into this game, I was completely overwhelmed. The tutorial gave me a few basics, but once I started playing, I still had no idea what I was really doing. I had questions about, well, pretty much everything. But I stuck with it, and slowly, the pieces started to click. The more I explored the game's mechanics and systems, the more fun it became. What first felt chaotic turned into something surprisingly deep and satisfying. So if you're feeling a bit lost too, don't worry. This guide will walk you through everything you need to know when getting started. Let's head right in. When you start the game for the first time, you will be given a choice between 3 modes: the classic roguelike run, challenge mode and endless mode. Let's start with the standard run. The first decision you will make is right in the middle of the screen, your profession. This determines your playstyle for the round. Early on you will have access to options like the farmer, who focuses on crops, or the shepherd, who specializes in animals. There are 12 professions in total, but only 4 are unlocked at the start. Next, you will pick your character on the left. Think of this as a more detailed specialization. Each one comes with its own perks, and most importantly, level up bonuses. These will matter a lot as your run progresses. Finally, you will choose a difficulty level. This affects how much money you will need to earn, how expensive items are, and how long the round lasts. I recommend starting on the easy difficulty for each profession to get a feel for their unique mechanics. The icons below show which professions you've beaten on each difficulty, and you will need to clear a few to unlock more. But that's enough prep, let's jump into the game. As soon as your run begins, you will need to choose 3 positive and 3 negative traits. But here's the twist: they don't all apply at once. Each set of traits only activates on specific days of the week. At the top screen you will see the 7-day calendar. That's how long you have before rent is due, so it's worth thinking strategically. Which days are the most important? For example, boosting your sale prices on the final day can be a great way to maximize your income right before the deadline. Once you've locked in your traits, the game drops you into a field cluttered with trees and rocks. At the bottom you will see your inventory and tools, and early on you will use them to clear some space and gather your first basic resources. Keep an eye on the green bar. That's your energy for the day, and every action with the tool uses some of it. In the top right, the white number shows how much money you currently have, and the red number is how much you will need by the end of the week. The small white arrow on the calendar points to the current day. And a quick warning: the game doesn't remind you when it's your final day, so pay close attention or you might lose your run without realizing it. I usually use the first day just to clear some space and prepare. Once your energy is gone, you can end the day by clicking the hourglass in the bottom right. After that, it's time to start building your production chain, depending on your profession. Let's stick with the farmer as an example. Click the blue icon on the right to open the building menu, where you will find all the structures currently available to build. Use the tabs at the top of the building menu to switch between farm buildings, mining structures, animal-related buildings, and general upgrades. When you hover over a building, you will see its resource cost and how much time it takes to construct. One important thing to note: each time you build the same structure, its price increases, so spamming one type of building isn't really an option. If you hold down Shift while clicking, you can place multiple buildings at once. Then, grab the hammer tool to finish construction. If you have any plants or production buildings, ending the day will make them produce once. For a farming focused run, your early setup will probably involve crop fields, scarecrows, and maybe even bees or sprinklers to boost your efficiency and automate parts of your farm. You unlock more buildings either by leveling up or by expanding into new areas. That brings us to the experience bar. It's located just below your tool slots. Almost everything you do grants XP, and when that bar fills up, you will level up. Each level unlocks new buildings and presents you with the choice between 3 powerful bonuses. These upgrades can completely shape your run. Some are incredibly strong, but others might come with trade-offs. So choose carefully and make sure your bonus doesn't backfire later on. In addition to your level up choices, you will also gain the passive bonus tied to the character you selected at the beginning, every single time you level up, so those early decisions continue to pay off throughout the run. Next, let's take a look at the shop. This is where you can sell your goods and buy new items. At the start, the shop is pretty basic and only offers seeds, but as you progress, you can invest money to upgrade the shop, unlocking animals, ores, and other useful items. There are also a few handy keyboard shortcuts for buying and selling more efficiently. Since they are already displayed right on the shop page, I won't go into detail here. For an easy run, the shop and the building menu will usually be enough to reach your goal. After all, a week isn't that long, and with a focused setup you can hit your money target pretty quickly. But once you step into higher difficulty levels, things get more demanding. When the game takes 2 or 3 weeks, you will need better tools and efficient crafting to survive. That's where the backpack and the crafting menu comes in. Here you can check all your items and view your current tools. Each tool has its own XP bar, and once it's full you can upgrade that tool, as long as you've collected the necessary materials. These upgrades are crucial for tougher runs. They will let you cover larger areas, use less energy, and even gain special effects. The good news, basic upgrades usually just need wood and copper, both of which you can gather early on from the starting area. So even without unlocking advanced mining or expanding your territory, you can at least level up one of your starting tools. Now let's take a look at the crafting menu. In the first tab you will find a range of useful items, things like jars for jam production, fertilizer, bait, lures, and even statues with unique effects. The second tab is for cooking. Start by picking one of the icons on the left. This acts as a base for your recipe. It could be nothing, a bowl, or maybe some bread. Once selected, you will see the possible recipes in the middle, and on the right you can add extra ingredients to give your dish special effects. Just keep in mind, you can usually only cook 5 times per day. The third tab is for alchemy. Begin by selecting a vial type in the top right corner. After that, a list of possible ingredients will appear. You need to pick 10 ingredients for each potion. The outcome depends on what and how many ingredients you use. Higher quality or rarer items tend to produce stronger, more valuable potions. There's a bit of randomness involved, but some of the potions can be really powerful, so it's worth experimenting. Just like cooking, alchemy also comes with a daily limit. In the next tab, you will find the clothing workshop. Here you can craft different types of clothing, hats, shirts and shoes. You will get to choose the base material and the dye color. These choices not only affect how much the final item is worth, but also what kind of bonus effects it offers. Just like with cooking and alchemy, there's a daily limit on how much you can craft here. And finally, there's the upgrades tab. This one includes several useful upgrades you can purchase. For example, increasing your daily crafting limits for cooking, alchemy and clothing. It's a great way to expand your options as your farm grows and the game becomes more complex. But don't worry, it will probably take a few runs before you even start diving into the more complex systems like clothing. That covers all the essential menus and how they work. With this foundation, you now have everything you need to shape your runs however you like. And if you're ever unsure about what a resource is used for, just hover over it to see what it can be crafted into. Another important element to keep in mind are the challenges. From time to time, you will be offered 2 optional tasks with specific objectives and time limits. Completing them will earn you valuable rewards, but failing comes with harsh penalties. Luckily, you can choose to skip them entirely, so only accept the challenge if you're confident you can pull it off, or if you're okay with dealing with the consequences. That's everything you need to know for the standard game mode. But there's also challenge mode. This mode throws a unique twist into the mix, forcing you to rethink your strategy completely. Reaching the money goal here takes real creativity and planning, and every run feels like a brand new puzzle. Once you're comfortable with the core mechanics, challenge mode is absolutely worth exploring. The last mode is endless mode, perfect for testing out new strategies without any time pressure or just kicking back and enjoying a relaxed farming experience. After learning the basic mechanics, here are a few beginner tips that can make a big difference. Enable auto harvest and auto pickup in the settings. This saves you a ton of unnecessary clicking and just makes the whole experience smoother and faster. Some items like apples, oranges or honey can be eaten. They don't restore much, but they give you a small energy boost, which can be a lifesaver if you forgot to water your crops or need a few more actions before the day ends. Early game ores are surprisingly valuable. If you smelt them into bars, they can give you a nice money boost. Just make sure you don't need them for tool upgrades before selling them off. On the final day of a run, sell everything. If it's the last day and there's no next week, your leftover resources won't matter, so dump everything in your inventory to reach your money goal. Still short on cash? Consider demolishing buildings. With the wrecking ball, you can tear down buildings to recover their materials. It costs 10 energy per building, but in a pinch, it might give you just enough to get across the finish line. Overall, I found the game pretty overwhelming at first. There's a lot going on and it's not easy to grasp right away, but once you get the basics down, it becomes way more enjoyable. I'm not ready to claim expert status just yet, so instead of a deep dive, this video will stick to the basics and a few key tips. If enough people are interested, I will gladly explore more advanced strategies and tips and tricks in a future video. Thank you all for watching and enjoy the game.